I am often asked, why can I not open this certain file? Or, do I need to zip the file? Do I need to unzip the file? Those are a lot of good questions. In the computer world, there are many different types of files. Some are opened, some are used for other purposes, and are not necessarily opened. In the physical world, there are many different types of animals. Some animals are kept as pets, such as cats and dogs. Other animals are not kept as pets, such as cows. They are used to produce milk. That's the same with certain types of files. You don't necessarily open them, but rather you use them. In all technicality, yes, all file types can be opened if you have the right program to do so. The first thing I want to do is show you where in Windows natively puts download files. Let's go to the QuiltEZ website. I'm going to scroll to the bottom, and I see that there's an update available for Android systems for their quilting machines. I'll click on that. Now it downloads a perfectstitch.apk. That's an APK file. That is an install file that Androids can use to install programs. Now people will click on this. I'm using Google Chrome to download, and then they'll say, I can't open it. There's no need to be alarmed if you're not being able to open that file. It was not meant to be opened here in Windows, but rather copied and pasted that file to our computer. So let's go and see where Windows put it. Now, whenever a file arrives to your computer, I'm going to push the Windows key and put computer. Windows will store all those files in a certain location. Your downloads folder. There's my Perfect Stitch right there. Now this is the File Explorer of Windows. This lets me see all my storage devices. I have a flash drive in. Lets me see my hard drives in my computer. And it also categorizes my files into music, pictures, videos, downloads. Windows does this all on its own. It's very nice. Now Windows will store incoming files to your computer here in the Downloads folder. There's that file I just downloaded. I'm going to take it out and put it on my computer in a second, but watch what happens if I download that file again. You can ignore this one because this one with the number 1 was from earlier. Just see these two. Now if I right click on this, I can also hit Show in Folder, which takes me to the place on Windows where Windows likes to keep my incoming files. Notice how it put a number 1 after the Perfect Stitch. Windows recognizes that a duplicate file has been sent to the computer, and so it puts a number 1 on there to avoid putting the exact same name on a duplicate file. But they are the exact same file. I know that because I downloaded the same thing twice. I can use either one to copy and paste to a flash drive, and then go and install that on my tablet. Now copying files is simple. I simply right-click on them and wait for Windows to ask me to copy it. People often ask about zipped files. Now, notice I have a picture here, I have a PDF here, and I have a video here. Now, if I select all of them and right-click, I'm going to be able to create an archive or zip together. I'm going to create this as a zip. I'll just let it be named desktop.zip and say OK. Now the program I'm using is called WinRAR to do this. You do not need WinRAR. If you have Windows 10, your computer can natively handle zipped files for you. Look here on the left-hand side, this desktop.zip. I just told my computer to take these 3 items and package them together into one file. The advantage of this is that if I send an email and I wanted to send somebody a PDF, a video, as well as a picture, I could put all of them into one file, a zip, and I just email them this one file, and they'll have all of them inside of there. The program I like to use to handle my zipped files is called WinRAR. You do not need it. Windows 10, if you have Windows 10, it can natively deal with zips for you. Now watch this. If I double click on here, this is showing me the items that I have inside my zipper. I have a PNG, which is a picture. I have a PDF, and I have a video. Now I want to pull the picture out. Let's pull that out. Then let's close this. Now what's cool about zipped files is everything is still inside this little zipped book. If I open that again, that picture's still in there. Whenever I take something out of it, it merely takes a copy of it out. Very nice. Now if I right click, you might have an extract all option right here, extract all. And it's going to ask me where I want them to go. I'll just let them go to my desktop. And I'll say extract. And here they are, building itself in a nifty little folder here. We can see it making progress. Okay, now my computer has extracted everything out of the zipper, and it's put them in a nice little folder for me. So I've got all my files. Now it is not necessary to download that WinRAR program that I use, but if you're curious, there are many programs out there, such as 7-Zip, WinZip, and WinRAR, all of which can zip and compile files into one file type and then open them back up again. So you can do research on those if you would like, or just use the native Windows capability to open files. Since I like to open my pictures with Firefox, my PDF files with Chrome, and I like to deal with zip files with WinRAR. I'm going to assign WinRAR here always to use my zip files. Notice how it changed the picture icon. And then WinRAR opened to explore that zipped file for me. That's how I assign zip files to now be handled by WinRAR instead of Windows, the native zipper feature of Windows. Okay, that's dealing with zipped files and how to find your downloads, where they go. I hope this has been helpful. Sometimes you may receive some help files from QuiltDZ or a lot of pictures. What if you need to send like 10 pictures to the same place? You don't want to send a bunch of files, you want them all together. So you just select all of them, and even a folder with stuff inside it. Even a folder can be zipped up together with another file. Let's make an archive for it. It'll be a zipped, and they'll just call it my name Tanner.zip. This is the WinRAR interface. I like to use WinRAR just because I deal with lots of files all the time, and so I use that. Now look how it's building this zip for me. Now inside that zip, it doesn't want to let me open it yet as it's still building it. When I open that zip, it'll have a folder inside it and it will have that file. So that's a great way with zipped files to organize everything. So the way to tell if something needs to be unzipped is that you'll be able to tell if it is a zip file or if it's plain in the instructions. As you become more and more familiar with your computer, you'll feel more comfortable in recognizing what is zipped. What does that mean? How do I extract it? Extracting simply means taking something out of the zipped file. Inside my zipped file, you'll remember I have lots of files in there. Wonderful, it's done building my book. I'll open it up. And I have a folder with stuff in it. I could push the arrow up here to go back. And I have another picture. That's the gist of handling zip files. How to manage them, compile them, and extract them. I hope this has been helpful. Thanks for watching.